I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Gianna Verratti. She is the CEO, president, and founder of the National Warrior Foundation. Help me in welcoming her. Woo!
Only in Alaska would we be clearing away the snow on a podium. I just want to take a minute. I have been to many memorials in my time. I'm not going to say how old I am, but I am so honored to be here today. If you are a veteran or a family member of a veteran, would you please stand up? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You have my deepest love for all of you, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Distinguished guests, and most of all, extraordinary veterans and families. Today, on Veterans Day, we honor you. The men and women who honored our country with its highest form of service. You, who once wore the uniform of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. We owe you our thanks, we owe you our respect, and we owe you our freedom. I once heard a soldier say, "I am not scared to die. I am scared of what it will do to my friends and family." My name is Gianna Verratti. I am the founder of the National Warrior Foundation. I am a granddaughter, daughter, former spouse, mother, and sister to a plethora of Army Rangers. Rangers lead the way! Today, throughout the country, people will gather together to remember, to honor, and to pay gratitude to those who served our country. Here in Alaska, we are lucky enough to have over 64,000 veterans in our great state. And when you look at our gathering today, know that this is one small spark in a flame of pride that burns across the greatest nation in the entire world. Veterans Day, originally called Armistice Day, was originally designated as the day to celebrate the end of World War I. The First World War ended November 11th, 1918. And the legislation that was created for Veterans Day was, and I quote, "dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be hereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day." As time went on, and we engaged in further conflicts during World War II and Korea, veteran groups lobbied for a change. Rather than honoring the armistice and only the ones who served in World War I, that holiday would now honor all veterans from every war and every conflict the United States has encountered. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys who crouched in muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the hazy jungles of Vietnam, and the young men and women patrolling the mountains of Afghanistan, we remember and we honor you all. The veterans we honor today came from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, and a dedication to duty and integrity. All the qualities needed to serve a larger cause than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer, except for you, Sergeant Major. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect a nation which has given them, us, so much. These men and women did not join the military seeking personal gain or fame. Their country called and they answered. They served in the name of freedom for our nation. We're here today to remember their achievements, their courage, their dedication, and to say thank you. Thinking of the heroes who join us in this group today, and those who are only here in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we're encountering. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served beside them. Millions of Americans have fought and died in battlefields here and abroad to defend our freedoms and our way of life. Today, troops continue to make the ultimate sacrifice, and even as we lose troops, more Americans step forward to say, "I'm ready to serve." They follow in the footsteps of the greatest generations of America. Serving in a war is the ultimate sacrifice. Men and women give up their families, leave their homes, risk their lives, and many return injured and scarred, both mentally and physically, the war within. We must come together as a nation to normalize the conversation about mental well-being for our veterans. Behind every salute are men and women who stood up to the challenge. The least we can do is stand beside them. Every service member is someone's neighbor. I am reminded of the time my best friend was leaving back after his 2-week leave to go back in country. Upon boarding the plane, he sent me a message and he said he was asked to move to a first-class seat. And on his seat, he found this note. Dear Sergeant Drew, Sir, please forgive the paper this note is written on. This paper does not honor the intent of the message. It is all I had, and I could not write this letter. It is now 07:35 hours, and you have been on my mind for 2 hours straight. When I walked down the concourse and saw your beautiful daughter, it took me back. Then I saw your wife, DCUs, and your gear bag, and it took my breath. I come from 2 grandfathers who served in World War II, one in Navy and one in the Army. My father served in Vietnam, 3 tours, 2 Purple Hearts. I was in the Air Force, Desert Storm 1. I've been deployed to remote places far away from my family. So I am one of the quickly growing fraternity that can say, I know how you feel. I have been there. I do not know if you're a religious man or not, but I find great comfort in knowing my Savior. I know there is a lot of prayer going on in a zone such as where I presume you're going. If you desire or not, I'm making a vow to you. I will pray for you and your little girl every day until you come home. I will not stop my daily vigil until I know that you are safe in your wife's arms again. I will give you my personal email so you can let me know. I called my wife before we boarded, and with tears in my eyes, I told her about you and your family. I am proud of our military. I am proud to serve for the greatest nation in the world. You are serving to protect my family. Thank you. You are serving so that little girl can lay her head down at night in a free country. She knows that hero, the strongest man in her life, her dad, is the defender of our nation, and that will never change. Lord, bless the wives who grieve alone and comfort the mothers who mourn their own. Strengthen the resolve of we who remain to see that they did not die in vain. During deployment, veterans give up life as mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers. They have given everything for us to be able to live free in the greatest country of the entire world. It is our obligation to live in their honor, to tell their stories so that every single generation remembers the backbone of men and women that this country was built on. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Today, with so much attention focused on the things that divide us of a nation, it's far too easy to overlook the things that should unite us. Our gratitude for the sacrifices that our veterans have given. Whenever the world makes you cynical, whenever you seek true humility and true selflessness, look to a veteran. Whenever the world gives you doubt and that there are goodness and selflessness is possible, stop and look to a veteran. They don't always go around telling their stories of heroism, so it's up to us to ask, Jim, I love your story. It's up to us to tell their stories and to live in our own lives the values that they prepared to give theirs. We can never serve our veterans in quite the same way they served us, but we can try. We can practice kindness. We can pay it forward. We can volunteer. We can serve, and we can respect one another. On behalf of this great nation, please know that we celebrate you every single day, not just today. You have done your duty to your families, to your community, to your fallen comrades, and to your country. President John F. Kennedy once said, a nation reveals itself not only by the people it produces, but by the people it honors and the people it remembers. 26 million veterans walk among us, and on this day, a nation salutes you all. Thank you very much for attending today. God bless you and your families. God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Jim.